Ada lagi yang nak masuk ke rapat ke? Right, okay, recording. Right, kalau saya dah Fikrudin. Sekejap, saya tunggu yang Fikrudin ni. Dan kalau saya present, saya dah tak nampak dah siapa yang masuk. Boleh ke saya macam lantik somebody untuk admitkan masuk? How to do that? Awak tahu?
Kena pindah host kot.
Pindah ke atau share host?
Share host pun rasanya macam boleh.
Dekat mana saya nak pilih? Tak ada pun.
Saya pun tak tahu doktor.
Setting. Share their screen. Send chat messages. Quick access. Okay, when turned off, the host must join first. Only people invited. Okay, must lihat masuk. Only people invited by the host can join without asking. Can join without asking. Okay. Everyone else must ask to join, including okay. Kan saya dah invited awak. Saya tak invited awak Bukan ke you dah dalam you future tu semua dah masuk email you kan?
Dah masuk dah.
Dah masuk email. Sepatutnya you dah invited. Ke you pakai email lain pula? Buka. When turned off, the host must join first. Tak, saya turn on. Only people invited by can join without asking. Access. Host control. Share their screen. Send chat messages. Okay. Alright, nantilah. Okay, dah. Semua dah masuk. Fikrudin. Aduh. Call cepat Fikrudin tu. Saya tunggu dia ni.
Fikrudin tu dah try dah tapi dia jadi tak boleh masuk juga.
Tu saya tak boleh tolong. Semua orang dah masuk dah pun? Boleh je. Cakap dia
Amal pun sama madam. Amal pun sama. Oh my god.
Bagilah link kelas ni. Copy joining info ni.
Dah bagi dah tapi still tak ni.
Still tak boleh masuk? Aduh. Kita jalanlah Ain. Lagi? Fikrudin. Mana Fikrudin ni?
Fikrudin yang dari tadi tak dapat dengan Amal Rifki.
Amal Rizki. Okey lah. Nanti dia tengoklah video ke apa ke. Okay. Right. Okay. Saya nak buat macam mana kan? Saya pun tak erti. Awak sharekan yang link yang daripada yang saya post tu. Share kat dia.
Dah.
Right. Okay. So, okay, this is okay. Why this week you are going to do the basic physiology. I've shared the slides and also 2 videos, okay, YouTube videos that you can watch again and again if you wouldn't be able to follow the topic that we discussed in the class, right? Aduh, dia pakai email lain si Fikrudin ni. Hai, kek kepala aku. Okay. Now, kita, okay, the slides. Okay. Right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I present now. Although if I couldn't, if you cannot see my slides, then you can always look at the slides that you downloaded. Kan? Boleh download kan daripada tempat you juga? A window. I think I can. Alright. Okay. This is the slides. And share. Oh, sekejap ya. Saya kena pakai plug. I have to plug in. Nanti kalau habis bateri, susah. Hari ni saya dekat office. Alah, saya tak nampak lah. Sekejap. Right. Okay. Right. Basic human physiology. Okay. Why we need to learn this basic human physiology is because we will be learning, we will, studying about nutrition, and we need to know how our body works and what are the system in our body and everything else. And everything else that is happening in our body. And for that, we need to have an understanding of the basic human physiology so that you are able to understand why certain food is important for certain kind of process in our body. All right? Okay. First, our body constitute of cells and then tissues and then organs and systems. Okay, cell is the basic minute element in our body, and then cells will congregate or will make up tissues, and tissues will make up organs. Okay, organs such as heart, lung, itu adalah organ, and then those organs, how it works, how its interrelationship will make up the systems in our body. Okay. Okay, what are cells? Okay, cells are the body's building blocks. There are billions of cells involved in just making one body, meaning that in our body we have billions of cells. Okay, so each cell contains the information needed to build and operate the human body. Although different types of cells have their own shape, size, and job, all share the same basic structure. Walaupun dia ada bentuk yang lain, berbeza, size yang berbeza, dan mungkin kerjanya berbeza dalam badan, tapi structure dia sama. Maknanya dia sangat basic dan sangat minute. Okay, for example, those are the pictures of different cells. You have pancreas cells, heart cell, blood cell, lung cell, semua berbeza. So if you like, if you extract katakan contohnya darah, dan you melihat kepada sel darah, sel automatic tengok je you tahu ini adalah sel darah. Kalau you ambil daripada hati katakan, then you know there is a liver cell. Okay, so so those are the types of cells that kalau you tengok dekat gambar tu, you have nerve cell, muscle cell, bone cell, okay, ovum, reproductive cells, okay, itu yang paling basic. Kenapa when we know about the cells are the building blocks, so we will understand how when we are talking about eating protein is the building blocks of our body. So so you know that protein is needed to make cells in our body. Okay. Okay. A living cell is made out of a thin outer membrane or skin that surrounds a watery jar called plasma. All the other minute cell parts float in the cytoplasm, and the control center is the nucleus. Okay, there's one nucleus. So every cells, when we talk about billion of cells, there are billion of nucleus in the cells. Okay, the nucleus contains information. It's like the brain for the cell. Although cell is yang paling kecil sekali dan paling tidak beroperasi, bukan tidak beroperasi, paling tidak, I mean, if it's just one cell, it cannot do anything. But when it is interrelated, it will produce kita punya body ni. Okay, the nucleus contains information needed to keep a cell alive and working properly. Okay, those are the names. Those are the names for the cell. Okay, so your cells will make up the tissues, and the tissues will make up the organs, and the organs will make up the systems, and the system will make up your body. Every day the body makes billions of new cells. Dia dipanggilkan sel tu akan divide. Kita ada dulu belajar dalam sains, kita ada meiosis ataupun mitosis. So itu adalah maklumat mengenai bagaimana sel divide ataupun produce itself. Okay, dia akan buat sel-sel baru. Okay, some new cells are needed to replace old worn out ones, and others make the body grow. So cell division takes place in 3 main stages. Before it divides, a cell copies the information in its nucleus. Dia copy dulu sebelum dia reproduce. And as the cell divide, nucleus splits into 2 equal parts, followed by cytoplasma. The 2 new cells will be identical to the original cell and to each other. Okay, tissues. Tissues are referring to groups of similar cells that perform a common function or job. There are 4 categories of tissues in human body. First, epithelial, cognitive, nervous, and muscle tissue. Epithelial tissue, cognitive tissue, nervous tissue, and muscle tissue. Okay. These are representative of where those cells or those tissues will be found. We don't have to like memorize all this, but you must understand what it is. Okay, epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue protects our body from moisture loss, bacteria, and internal injury. Okay, epithelial tissue merujuk kepada kulit. Okay, so it covers and line epithelium cover almost all of our internal and external body surfaces, such as the outermost layer of our skin and other organs, and internal surface lining of our lymph vessels and digestive tract. Glandular epithelium secretes hormones or other products such as stomach acid, sweat, saliva, and milk. Glandular epithelium itu adalah epithelial tissue yang terdapat di dalam perut, dan dia ada special function. Dia boleh mengawal ataupun dia boleh secrete hormones dalam perut. Okay. And for sweat, you have epithelial tissue dekat bahagian permukaan kulit, So epithelial tissue juga boleh mengeluarkan peluh. So it depends at where the epithelial tissue is found, then it will function as what it is meant to function. And then you have saliva, epithelial tissue in your mouth, and of course epithelial tissue in your milk duct, so it can produce milk. Okay. Okay, function, it protects us because for skin, it protects us from the outside world. For in the stomach, epithelial tissue, it will help in the lining, intestinal lining, and it facilitate absorption. Nanti kita cerita mengenai how tenaga ataupun how food is being absorbed. In the kidney, it helps in filtration, and in the secretion, it forms the glands to secretes your feces ataupun you punya peluh dekat atas kulit untuk perpeluhan. Secretes and secretion. Characteristics is closely attached to each other, forming a protective barrier. It always has one free surface open to outside the body or inside an internal organ. So dia ada satu surface yang akan macam lubang hidung lah. You ada kulit, lepas tu sampai kat lubang hidung dia ada cavity kan, dia ada lubang kan. Lepas tu sama juga kalau dekat perut, dia ada lubang di permukaan epithelial supaya tenaga ataupun absorption boleh berlaku. Okay. It always had one fixed basal section attached to the underlying connective tissue. It has no blood vessels but can soak up nutrients from blood vessels in connective tissue underneath. It has lots of nerves in it. Nerves, nerve. Nanti awak carilah dia punya tu tak boleh nak bagi tahu dia punya bahasa Melayu dia. It is very good at regenerating, meaning that it can fix itself, such as kalau kulit you ada sunburn, so dia boleh baiki, ataupun you luka, kulit you luka, ataupun you berjerawat, so epithelial tissue will reproduce ataupun it will fix itself within that 28 days. Selalunya kalau kulit 28 hari. Okay. Connective tissue generally provides structure and supports to the body. There are two types of connective tissue, which is loose connective tissue. It holds structures together. And you have fibrous connective tissue, which holds body parts together. Okay. Functions. Okay, what are the functions for connective tissue? It wraps around and cushions and protects organs. It stores nutrients. It has internal supports for organs. It works as tendon. Okay. Tendon and ligaments protects joints and attach muscles to bone and each other. It runs through organ capsules and in deep layers of skin, giving strength to your bones. Okay. There are three elements of connective tissue. You have ground substance, which is a gel around cells and fibers. And then you have fibers where it can provide strength, elasticity, and support. And of course, there's cells also in the connective tissue. Okay. Nervous tissue forms the nervous system, which is responsible for coordinating the activities and movements of your body through its network of nerve. Okay. It conducts impulses to and from body via neurons. There are three elements of nervous tissue: your brain, your spinal cord, and the nerves. Okay, and there are two types of nerve cells, which is the neurons, the basic structural unit of the nervous system, and each cell consists of the cell body, dendrites, and axons. And of course, you have neuroglia or glial cells, which provide support functions for the neurons, such as insulation or anchoring neurons to blood vessels. Okay, so those are nervous tissue. Okay, and then you have muscle tissue. Muscle tissue differs from other tissue types in that it contracts. Okay, muscle tissue contracts. It selalu diberguna pada orang-orang yang bersukan. Okay, dia develop their muscle tissue, kekuatan muscle tissue. And there are 3 types of muscle tissue. Cardiac tissue found in the heart, smooth muscle lines the walls of blood vessels and contains certain organs such as the digestive and urogenital tracts. And then you have skeletal tissue attached to bones and causes movements of the body. And those tissues are made up of muscle fibers which contain many myofibrils. Okay, muscle tissue. Nanti I will share some videos later about how this muscle tissue and uh, all these elements work together. Okay, muscle tissue responsible for body movement, moves blood, food, waste through body's organs, and it responsible for mechanical digestion. Yang proses muscle peristalsis tu adalah depends on muscle tissue. Okay, if you look at this, is muscle tissue there's involuntary control. Maksudnya kalau you tidur ke, you tak payah program pun badan you, makanan tu akan you makan saja, makanan tu akan bergerak sendiri sampai ke keluar. Okay, so itu semua adalah involuntary, you tak perlu arahkan, tak ada arahan, dia akan automatic. Okay, there's cardiac muscle tissue is also involuntary. Jantung you akan bergerak sendiri ataupun mengepam sendiri darah. You tak payah kata, oh tak payah pam, I nak tidur, tak perlu. You tak payah cakap apa-apa dan dia akan, dan you tak payah fikirkan apa-apa, dia adalah involuntary. That is how Allah jaga kita. Okay. Kemudian you have the voluntary control. Voluntary control is where you sendiri yang control the muscle tissue. Meaning that if you wanted to pick up a pen, katakan you nak angkat pen, your otak you beritahu, okay, nak angkat dengan apa? Angkat dengan mulut, angkat dengan tangan, angkat dengan kaki. So otak akan beritahu, so it is voluntary. So you akan angkat dengan jari ke angkat dengan the whole tangan, or how you wanted it to be, it is voluntary. Okay, you sendiri yang control that muscle tissue. Okay, then we move into organs. Okay, what is organs? Organ is a collection of tissues or millions of cells joined in a structural unit to serve a common function. Okay, almost 78 organs in our human body, but skin is the largest organ with respect to its size and weight. Kita ada 78 organ dalam badan, kulit yang paling banyak ataupun paling besar dari segi size dan berat. Okay. The major organ, brain, which is responsible for performing all the functions and actions of the body. So otak kita adalah macam CPU lah kepada semua badan-badan kita. Sebab itu kalau katalah is anything happen to your kalau kata badan you tak boleh bergerak, kadang orang accident kan, tangan dia tak boleh bergerak, itu semua adalah masih lagi dia boleh okay lagi, dia boleh function lagi kerana otak dia masih lagi boleh function, masih lagi boleh perform all the other functions dalam badan. Okay, dia boleh makan, dia boleh semua benda lain boleh. Tetapi kalau otak yang cedera dan kematian otak, dan yang lain semua kita belum boleh bantu otak untuk beritahu semua badan-badan, fungsi-fungsi badan yang lain untuk berfungsi. Kerana otak tu adalah CPU untuk manusia. And then you have other organs such as heart, thyroid, lungs, eyes, liver, stomach, kidney, prostate, pancreas, spleen, bladder, small intestine, large intestine, and many more. You have 78 kan? So semua tu adalah organ-organ kita. Okay, ini penting, sistem. Okay, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 systems in our body. Okay, pernah sekali dalam final exam ditanya soalan ni, how many systems responsible in human physiology. So there are 7, and out of that 7, we will learn kata we will learn very diligently on digestive system. Yang lain tu kita harus tahu, digestive system wajib tahu. Okay. Yang lain tu kena belajar juga, so that you understand bila kita makan, makanan-makanan yang kita makan, ia adalah baik untuk which system. Okay. So you have digestive, pencernaan, circulatory, darah, respiratory system, pernafasan, excretory system, pengkumuhan, okay. Central nervous system ialah bagaimana itu adalah otak dan you punya function-function dalam badan, hormon, secretion, mood, pemikiran, cara pemikiran, itu semua ada kena-mengena dengan central nervous system ataupun dikawal oleh central nervous system. And then you have endocrine system, perkumuhan, ginjal, and then you have reproductive system, sistem peranakan, okay, sistem peranakan, sistem reproductive. Dalam bahasa Melayu pun reproductive juga. Alright. So far ada soalan?
Tak ada, madam.
Alright. Okay. So, okay, sekarang, okay. Ni penting ya. So nanti dulu masa saya belajar reproductive ni, saya ada gambar. Saya draw, okay, sel buat tissue buat organ buat sistem, kan? So apa itu tissue, apa itu organ, apa itu sel. So saya ada that mind mapping. So you might want to do that because ni hanya sekali saja kita akan discuss about this, but it is part of one. There's 1 or 2 questions nanti dalam you punya test ataupun you punya final exam ada tajuk-tajuk ni. So you might as well study really hard for this topic so that you dah clear on this in this part. Okay, digestion system. Okay, the body needs food to give its energy, to make it grow and to repair itself. The food we eat is made up of complex substance called nutrients. Kita makan macam-macam kan? Kita makan nasi lah sahur tadi, kita minum susu, kita makan kurma, kita makan apa lagi awak makan? Kau tak makan, tak bangun sahur.
Makan buah.
Makan bubur, wah bestnya. Makan buah saja.
Nasi sekali.
Makan nasi.
Semualah makan.
Sup tulang.
Sup tulang. Okay, hari ni saya nak cari sup tulang. Okay. And then these complex nutrients have to be broken down into simpler parts so that the body can use them. And this is called digestion process. Okay. Simple nutrients can pass into the blood and are carried to all the body cells. So maksudnya kita makan tu kompleks kan? Kita makan tu katakan nasi dengan lauknya, ada ikan ke, ada daging ke, dan ada sayur, dan ada makan buah. So kunyah semua dalam perut, kunyah dalam mulut, kemudian you telan. Dalam perut dia dah bercampur semua. Dia dah bercampur dah semua, fiber tak fiber, carbohydrate, protein, semua dah campur lah dengan air, semua dah campur. So that complex nutrients has to be broken down kepada parts yang paling kecil yang boleh meresap di saluran darah. Meresap melalui dinding dalam saluran darah dan di pick up oleh saluran darah dan di pick up oleh darah, dan darah akan hantarkan nutrien ni kepada tempat-tempat tertentu dalam badan yang akan menukarkan nutrien ini kepada tenaga. Okey, kenapa kita makan? Kerana makanan tu kita makan untuk membekalkan tenaga kepada kita. Okey. Okay, so in digestive system, saya cover yang ini, nanti lepas nanti you juga akan baca yang lain juga, yang parts yang lain. The digestive system is mouth to or mouth cavity ataupun this is called oral cavity. Mouth is oral ataupun oral cavity where your tongue and your teeth will help to chew food. Maksudnya digestive system, it starts with your mouth. Okay. Proses mengunyah adalah sebahagian daripada proses pencernaan. Kerana bila you kunyah, dia akan membantu untuk mengecilkan makanan ke dalam bentuk yang boleh ditelan dan dipanggil bolus, kan? B-O-L-U-S. Okay. So semasa mengunyah, your ileo, saliva contains digestive enzymes and lubricates the food to move further along your gastrointestinal tract, GI tract. So your tongue roll, chew food into a ball to be swallowed. Lidah pun membantu kerana dia menolak makanan ke tekak. Okay. So daripada mulut ke esophagus, the food moves from the mouth through the pharynx to the esophagus. And this is called, bagaimana dia bergerak, food move from mouth through pharynx to esophagus, dan pergerakan ini dipanggil peristalsis. Okay. After this, after melalui esophagus, dia akan masuk ke dalam perut, stomach. So the food passes from esophagus into the stomach. So your stomach holds about 4 cups of food, and it will produce or mix an acid that helps in the protein digestion and destroys bad bacteria. Fatty foods leave stomach after carbohydrates and protein. Okay, meaning that yang kita sekarang ni kita cover adalah digestive system secara am. Kita akan cover pencernaan karbohidrat spesifik. Kemudian kita akan cover juga pencernaan protein dan pencernaan lipid. Okay. Untuk proses pencernaan, karbohidrat dicernakan lebih awal di dalam mulut. Maksudnya bila kita makan saja, kita mengunyah, enzim akan keluar. So enzim amylase akan keluar. Enzim amylase akan bantu proses pencernaan dalam mulut. Karbohidrat mula dicerna dalam mulut. Okay. So dinding-dinding dekat dalam mulut kita, dinding epithelial tissue kita akan meresap karbohidrat dulu. So apa yang dia meresap dekat karbohidrat, bukan karbohidrat yang nasi itu tau. Dia meresap dalam mulut, apa yang meresap ialah glukos. Okay. Sebab itu bila kita berbuka puasa, kita digalakkan untuk berbuka puasa dengan, ada lagi ke orang ni? Kita digalakkan berbuka puasa dengan
makanan manis.
benda manis, okey, lagi dengan kurma. Ya, kurma tu sunnah kan? Kurma tu sunnah. Pada waktu itu Nabi kita tak adalah kata kena makan ni sebab ada glukos. Dia ada karbohidrat kan? Tak ada. Kita ikut saja Rasulullah buka puasa dengan kurma, dan sebaiknya kita kunyah, kalau ikut sunnah kita kunyah berapa kali kunyahan?
40.
40? Ya ke?
44.
44.
Mana awak dengar 44? Takut saya.
Oh bukan
Saya kunyah 3 kali je.
Allah, 3 kali.
3 tak sempat
Hilang.
telan.
Kita kena kunyah 23 kali. 23 kali. Tapi saya rasa, macam awak cakap lah, tak sampai 23 kita rasa dah jadi macam bubur dah dalam perut mulut kita. Kan? Kenapa kita kena kunyah lebih lama?
Dia hancur.
Ya,
Sebab senang hadam.
senang hadam lagi.
Enzim tak perlu buat kerja banyak.
Dia enzim tu akan keluar dekat air liur dan dia akan start cernakan bila you kunyah air liur keluar lebih banyak dan you dah extract dah glukos. Sebab tu kalau kita makan buah-buahan, digalakkan untuk makan buah-buahan bila buka puasa. Kita ikut sunnah Nabi, kita makan kurma kerana kurma ada tinggi glukos, ada tinggi fruktos, itu semua adalah gula ringkas dan dia kurma akan diserap di dalam mulut. So automatik kita makan je kurma, kita rasa segar dulu. Ada orang buka puasa dengan kurma sahaja. Kan, dia tak buka puasa dengan nasi dulu. Makan dulu kurma, makan dulu bubur manis, kemudian solat dulu. Dan masa tu dah ada tenaga kan. Lepas tu baru makan nasi contohnya. Ada orang, saya ada juga dengar kawan-kawan yang buka puasa makan kurma, makan kuih, makan bubur, solat maghrib, kemudian solat tarawih, habis solat tarawih baru makan nasi. Itu lagi baik. Lagi baik. Cuma kita tak sabar-sabar kan. Dah plan dah daripada pagi dah plan dah. Apa nak makan petang ni buka puasa. So masa buka puasa tu memang menunggu-nunggulah apa nak makan. Saya sambil basuh piang mangkuk pagi tadi sahur dah fikir dah apa nak masak hari ni. Nasi tu baru sampai peristalsis dia sampai esophagus dia. Belum sampai masuk perut dah fikir apa nak masak hari ni. Itu. So sebab tu kita kena dalam bulan puasa ni banyak benda lah kita kena belajar kan. Banyak benda yang kita kena adjust. Bukan hanya makanan. Kita kena fikirkan apa yang kita buat seharian. Right? Okay. Alright. Okay. Stomach. Okay. Kemudian lepas perut, stomach, dia akan masuk small intestine. Small intestine bahasa Melayu.
Usus kecil.
Ya, subhanallah. Om putih cari. Okay, so you have small intestine. So small intestine, boleh minum air tak? Small intestine is where the nutrients are. Sekejap minum air. Masuk kamera ke ni? Masuk kamera ke? Tak adalah. Puasa. Siapa nak cakap? Okay. So, small intestine, okay, the nutrients are still being digested. Okay, this is where for protein, kalau tadi kita bincangkan tadi, karbohidrat mula dicerna di dalam mulut. Okay. Protein mula dicerna di dalam perut. Okay. Dan lipid ataupun fat akan mula dicerna di dalam small intestine. Okay. So in small intestine, bila saya kata mula, yang lain tu masih lagi dicerna tau. Okay. Dia hanya bermula sahaja. Okay. So di dalam usus kecil, nutrients are still being digested, all the nutrients. And this is where the site for most nutrient absorption. Di sinilah semua nutrien akan diserap. Okay, dia ada kaedah yang berbeza untuk yang karbohidrat dengan protein dan dia ada kaedah yang berbeza untuk lipid kerana lipid adalah fat base, berasaskan minyak. Jadi the most nutrients will pass through villi. Okay, villi itu adalah, nanti sekejap lagi kita akan tunjukkan gambar. Saya rasa depannya ada gambar. Villi into blood vessels or are transported to the blood. Okay, The nutrients travel in the blood throughout the body where they can enter the cells. Okay, and they akan transported to different throughout the body supaya dia boleh ditukarkan kepada tenaga di peringkat sel. Okay, masuk pada sel, sel tu akan tukar kepada tenaga dan dikeluarkan berapa ATP. Dekat sini berapa ATP, sini berapa ATP. ATP tu adalah tenaga, adenosine triphosphate. Okay. Kemudian selepas small intestine, the food ataupun the bolus, the food nutrients akan masuk ke large intestine. Large intestine is part of the digestive tract kerana it connects the small intestine to the rectum. Okay, it receives waste products of digestion and passes them on to rectum. Large intestine is where kalau ada sisa-sisa nutrien yang perlu diserap ataupun perlu dicernakan, boleh berlaku di sini, especially untuk bahan-bahan yang tinggi fiber. Kerana fiber tak boleh dicernakan di mana-mana tempat dalam digestive tract except for large intestine. Okay. In large intestine is also the place where most of the water are being absorbed. Some minerals are also being taken up, and a few vitamins such as vitamin K will be made by bacteria in the large intestine. Fiber tak boleh dicernakan oleh badan kita, oleh sistem badan kita, oleh enzim-enzim, dan dia akan dicernakan di large intestine oleh bakteria. Okay, bakteria tu yang akan bantu untuk mencernakan fiber. Okay, this is insoluble fiber. Soluble fiber dia akan diserap dalam small intestine, dia membantu dalam proses pencernaan. Okay, yang insoluble fiber, yang serat-serat kalau kata awak makan bayam yang batang bayam tu kan dia ada serat-serat yang kasar. Dalam perut kita tak boleh dicernakan, asid hidroklorik pun tak boleh dicernakan, dan dia akan sampai kepada large intestine. There's bacteria di large intestine yang akan menggunakan fiber tu, cernakan, uraikan untuk keperluan dia, untuk dia punya makanan, quote unquote, dan dia akan mengeluarkan carbon dioxide. So for some people yang dia makan tinggi fiber dan perut incapable to produce or to process the fiber, so dia akan rasa macam macam berangin, kan, kata-kata perut macam kembung berangin, kerana dia makan banyak sangat fiber. Bakteria tu menggunakan fiber tu untuk makan dan dia akan keluarkan perkumuhan dia sendiri, which is carbon dioxide. So that carbon dioxide tu yang you rasa berangin, kentut-kentut dan sebagainya. Right? Okay. Circulatory system. Okay. Ini adalah responsible for transporting materials throughout the entire body. Sistem darah, sistem saluran darah. So transport nutrients, water, oxygen to your billions of body cells and carries away waste such as carbon dioxide that body cells produce. There are three major parts: the heart, the blood, and the blood vessels. Okay. Okay. So yang ini you boleh baca ke? Saya tak nak discuss panjang lebar tentang the other system because lepas ni nanti saya nak you tengok ada satu video. So circulatory system, blood vessels, they talk about platelets, plasma. So these are all about circulatory system. Respiratory system, okay, how it works. And then excretory system, berpeluh, kidney, liver and lungs. Excretory system termasuk juga kita excretekan okay, carbon dioxide bila kita ambil oksigen dan oksigen diambil dipindahkan daripada paru-paru ke dalam sistem badan, dan badan akan mengeluarkan carbon dioxide dan carbon dioxide itu akan di-excrete keluar. Okay. Kulit berfungsi sebagai mengeluarkan perpuluhan. Okay, kidney akan proses dia punya waste. Okay. Urine, perform urine. Okay, excretory system, central nervous system, responsible for sending, receiving, and interpreting information from all parts of the body. It monitors and coordinates internal organ function and responds to changes in the external environment. It is the processing center for the nervous system, and it receives information from and sends information to the peripheral nervous system. There are two main organs of the CNS, the brain and the spinal cord. Right? So nanti lain tu you boleh baca. Okay. So, and then they talk about the brain. Okay, so it has your forebrain, brainstem, and hindbrain. Forebrain responsible for a variety of functions, including receiving and processing sensory information, thinking, perceiving, producing, understanding language, and control motor function. Okay. So you have your thalamus and hypothalamus, which is responsible for such functions as motor control, relaying sensory information, and contain the largest part of the brain, which is cerebrum. Okay. Then you have the midbrain, the hindbrain, which is the brainstem, and then the hindbrain extends from the spinal cord and contains structures such as the pons and the cerebellum. Okay. So ini nanti boleh tengok dalam tu ya. Ya, Nadia ada kelas. Kenapa? Okay. Okay, kemudian you have the brain. Okay, the spinal cord. The brain is attached to your spinal cord. So your spinal cord is a cylindrical shaped bundle of nerve fibers that is connected to the brain. Okay, the spinal cord runs down the center of the protective spinal column, extending from the neck to the lower back. So the antara spinal cord dengan brain, it will communicate. Okay, your brain will tell that, oh, they need to you need to lift up your hand. So it will tell the spinal cord, and the spinal cord, the tulang yang mana yang akan beritahu ada masa tu akan pull or push the untuk mengangkat ataupun meletakkan barang contohnya. So it works together. Okay. Ada orang yang macam accident, cedera spinal cord. The spinal cord tak boleh menerima information daripada otak dan dia tak boleh function. Tu yang kita tengok orang dia tak boleh bergerak. Okay. Neurons is the basic unit of the nervous system. So nanti boleh ni Neurons ni yang macam dia punya wire elektrik lah yang akan membantu penyampaian maklumat. Apabila maklumat diproses, dia akan hantar signal akan terima, oh kena angkat barang, okay, dia angkat. Oh kena biarkan. So that's the neurons. Okay. Endocrine system includes all the glands of the body and the hormones produced by those glands, and it is controlled directly by stimulation from the nervous system as well as by chemical receptors in the blood and hormones produced by other glands. Okay. So you have the glands of the endocrine system includes hypothalamus, pituitary gland, pineal gland, and these are all located in your brain. And then you have the thyroid gland located in the throat, the thymus near the heart, the pancreas and adrenal glands in the abdomen, the testes in the male or the ovaries in the female. So in the endocrine system is about hormones and how these hormones will affect kita punya mood, will affect kita punya reproductive system, will affect kita punya pemprosesan makanan dan sebagainya. Okay, endocrine system. Okay, so these are the glands in the endocrine system, and then the hormones yang dikeluarkan oleh the glands, and why is these hormones important. It is stated in the functions. Okay, hypothalamus functions in the nervous system, affect the function of anterior pituitary gland. Then you have pituitary gland, uterine contraction and milk for breastfeeding, prevent water loss, reuptake water by kidneys, reduce perspiration. So ini semua adalah pituitary gland. Okay. So bila kalau saya kata okay, what is pituitary glands responsible for? So you have to list down or you have to explain about the functions of the pituitary gland. Okay, and then you have pineal gland. Okay, what is it important for? Regulate the human sleep-wake cycle known as the circadian rhythm. The activity of the pineal gland is inhibited by stimulation from the photoreceptors of the retina. The light sensitivity causes melatonin to be produced only in low light or darkness. Increased melatonin production causes humans to feel drowsy at night time when the pineal gland is active. Okay, so this pineal gland is it helps you in your sleep pattern. Okay, because some people couldn't sleep well. They need some medication so that the hormones is balanced and they have a normal sleep wake cycle. Okay, thyroid gland, it helps in the aiding the absorption of calcium into the matrix of bones. The hormones T3 and T4 work together to regulate the body's metabolic rate. Increased levels of T3 and T4 led to increased cellular activity and okay. Oops, Allah. Mana dia? Right. Okay. Right. Habis dah kan ni? Awak nampak apa? Okay. Right. Okay. And then you have testes for male and ovaries for female. And this is where the male hormones for male androgen testosterone is excreted, and for female progesterone and estrogens will be excreted. Okay, so these are the hormones for male and female reproductive system as well, and it is important kerana it will regulate people to be male or female. So that's why some male who wanted to be female, they need to get estrogens from outside sources and vice versa. Okay. Ada siapa yang nak makan estrogen?
Alhamdulillah tak ada lagi madam.
Yang
Pelik
perempuan?
tu medium tak makan.
Oh, nak makan ke? Nak jadi cantik?
Fake dah cukup cantik madam.
Cantik. Cantik pun tak bagus juga. Kita nak dia macho. So kalau rasa-rasa tak cukup testosteron tu boleh makan testosteron supaya macho sikit. Macam Zul Arifin.
Wow. Macam-macam.
Bagi kat kucing boleh madam?
Ah?
Bagi kat kucing.
Bagi kat kucing? Nak buat apa? Oh ni.
Dia suka kucing tu.
Kucing mana? So, alright, okay. Now, the reproductive system, okay. It is a collection of organs that work together with the purpose of producing a new life, okay. You have the major organs include the external genitalia and internal organs. Okay, substances such as fluids, hormones, and pheromones is important for effective functioning of the reproductive system. Okay. So inilah yang reproductive system. Dia ada fluids which is air mani, air mazi kan. Hormones tu tadi daripada endocrine system, and pheromones pheromones is bau bau yang tertentu yang dikeluarkan untuk untuk menarik menarik apa dia panggil menarik jenis seks yang berbeza. Alright. Okay, habis dah slide saya. Okay. So, do you have any question? Saya yang tu saya laju because saya tak nak cover in detail about the other systems, but the other systems is also important because some people they couldn't if they do not eat right, then their system they do not eat right, so their maybe nervous system will be affected, or maybe their reproductive system will be affected dan sebagainya. Sebab tu kadang kita ada makanan-makanan tertentu yang boost kita punya mood ataupun akan merendahkan mood kita dan sebagainya. So that's why we have to learn that thing first before we move into carbohydrate dan protein dan lipid dan sebagainya. Okay, any question?